I'll play your favorite song, darling. We can rock it all night long, darling. 'Cause I've got to love, darling. Love, sweet love, darling. Man, the mood has got to move. So let the music rock me. 'Cause I've got to love, darling. Love, sweet love, darling. Quiet as the night. Please turn off your light. I'll play your favorite song, darling. We can rock it all night long, darling. Strike the hammer wide, iron is hot. Strike the hammer wide, iron is hot. Strike the hammer wide, iron is hot. Open up your heart, open up your heart. Let love come running, darling. Love, sweet love, darling. Love, sweet love, darling. Mellow has got me, darling. Let the music rock me, darling. 'Cause I've got your love, darling. Love, sweet love, darling.
All right, YouTube. Hello, everybody. We got people in Miami, Ms. Pound Dropper. What's up? We got Palm Beach, Florida, Melbourne, Australia, Phoenix, Arizona. We got people from all over. Do you chew with your mouth opened or closed? Depends. Depends on if I'm flapping my gums and talking while I'm eating. Depends on what I'm chewing, too. Gavin Henley, what's up, man? Success Fairy is back. Look at that. The Success Fairy is a passive listener, she says, or he says. So I'm not going to, or Z says, for those gender fluid, gender binary people. That's got to be the weirdest word ever, right? Gender fluid. Keep your gender fluids away from me, sir. I just washed. What's up, Northern Virginia? Michael Weisenhower in Virginia. Kevin Jackson. All right, here you go. Another live broadcast. If you guys want, I think there's a way that you can get notified about these live broadcasts through YouTube. And there's like a little bell icon somewhere. I think if you click that, you get notified beforehand for the people who are wondering why you aren't being notified. Also, if you go to the website, primaledgehealth.com, you can sign up for our newsletter and we can send you an email beforehand when we know one of these are coming up. But this was kind of an impromptu one. And I just, I just decided to do this live one last minute. Mike Lamothe says, watched your bulletproof video and would like to hear more about eating in the morning versus intermittent fasting. That's a good question. All right. Now, eating in the morning, as I talked about in the bulletproof video, where I showed that bulletproof is not so bulletproof. In fact, it's full of holes. Full of holes, but great marketing, and getting other people to market the brand for him is quite clever. But let's see. Success Fairy, what's up? Success Fairy says, greetings from the socialist government, as you say, from South Africa. Right on. South Africa. You guys are having a hard time over there in South Africa these days. Glad you're doing well. Success fairy. All right, Mike. Talking about eating in the morning versus intermittent fasting. Now, when you say versus intermittent fasting, I'm gonna have to check the language there, because you can do both. You can eat in the morning and do intermittent fasting. Now, technically, intermittent fasting, as it's been laid out, the protocols that have been promoted over the years, were first promoted by a guy called Lean Gains. There's this dude, Lean Gains, and he did a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. Most people would accomplish this from pushing breakfast back to 11 or 12 and eating between the hours of, say, 11 and 7 or 12 and 8, and making that their 8-hour window. If I can do basic arithmetic, which I normally can't. I hope that's right. So 8-hour window there. Now, eating in the morning, as I talked about in the bulletproof video, breakfast is the most important meal of the day for setting the tone for your blood glucose control throughout the day. People who eat breakfast have far better glycemic control throughout the day, meaning when you eat breakfast, it's far less likely that halfway through the day, you're going to get that malaise or hangry feeling when you're grumpy and hungry at the same time, or when you feel like your blood sugar is just dipping and diving and you need to get food. It's far less likely that's going to happen in diabetics and other people if you get a nice bolus of protein in the morning and eat breakfast. Look at any of the feeding studies on diabetics, and it all shows that skipping breakfast has negative effects on glycemic control throughout the day. Now, of course, people who promote intermittent fasting will cherry pick the data and say, well, fasting actually makes you more insulin sensitive. Therefore, it should regulate your blood glucose better because you're becoming more insulin sensitive and you can burn more body fat, etc. Yes, fasting can make you more insulin sensitive. Fasting can help you reduce your hunger because of the presence of ketones, right? So intermittent fasting is kind of like this gateway drug to a ketogenic diet. Intermittent fasting actually got me interested in keto because when I started doing intermittent fasting like 5 or 6 years ago, I noticed that at the end of the fast, when I break the fast, I would always feel much less optimal, much less focused, much less energetic than I did in that fasting period. All right. Most of the time when people do intermittent fasting, they push back breakfast or whatever meal they're going to have for so long. And by the time they eat, they're so hungry that the satiety signaling and the hunger signaling is not working properly. We all know this feeling. I do it every once in a while myself sometimes. If I push back my breakfast far too long until I'm really, really hungry, the result usually is I end up eating a meal that's way bigger than I would eat if I had just eaten earlier before the hunger struck. All right, so for diabetics. For females, intermittent fasting doesn't always result in fantastic results and in feeling good. Pushing back breakfast can result in elevated stress hormones throughout the day. You're not blunting that morning cortisol response that you get, and it can become an issue. So if you look at any of the studies, like I said before, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. How do we reconcile that with the dogma of intermittent fasting is good? I must do intermittent fasting because it's the biggest craze on the internet right now. All right. Because let's admit it, that's why intermittent fasting is so popular right now. People are pushing it. People see an opening, and you get the, I don't know, like the fitness gurus, the Brandon Carters, the Lauer, like all these people are out there pushing it. Because you look at the Google, the Google Analytics, the AdSense stuff, or not even AdSense. I don't know, because I don't even use these things. I just connect with my audience. I want real people, not fans, right? But these individuals, they look at the Google keywords, they see that intermittent fasting is trending, and they start repeating the information. Oh, it's going to increase your growth hormone by 15,000%. Well, that's what they say. And when you fast, growth hormone increases naturally. But it's not so simple. The studies that showed that 15,000% increase in growth hormone were after 48 hours of fasting, 2 days of fasting. You're not getting that level of growth hormone from a 16-hour fast. In fact, most people on a standard American diet easily fast 16 hours. Think about it. When I was in college, I used to wake up, sometimes go get a coffee or something in the morning before class, and I wouldn't eat till like 12, 1 o'clock sometimes. Then I'd stuff my face with a big old meatball thing from Joe's at the University of California, Santa Cruz. I used to get these meatball sandwich things and just stuff myself and crash afterwards. Just feel all wonked out, blood sugar dropping, feeling shitty. But that would be a 16-hour fast because I'd usually eat between like 12 and 8 and then maybe have some midnight snacks a lot of times. But intermittent fasting, it's just a gimmick. I'm sorry, everybody. It's a gimmick. It's a fad. Fasting itself is not a fad, but this whole like intermittent fasting, you do this and it's so magic, it's make you lose weight. There's no magic thing about intermittent fasting that makes you lose body fat. What intermittent fasting does is can get you on the outskirts of ketosis and kind of help you quell and drop hunger for an extended period of time, but it doesn't make you lose body fat in the absence of restricting how much food you eat. It just makes it easier to restrict how much food you eat. Hey, what's up, AET? What's up, AET? Marcelo Gonzalez, Giota Shorts, Briar Rose, Vanette Mustafa, Fit Like Frenchie, Comma Fornication Tube. We got loads of people here who are regulars, and AET had a birthday the other day, and it was so cool because I didn't know it was AET's. I don't even know. I need a better way to spell your name. Give yourself a real handle there. But yeah, AET joined last time and was able to get hooked up with a copy of the Ketogenic Edge book, a training manual for low carbohydrate, paleo, and ketogenic cuisine. Just because I forget what she said. She said something nice and positive about helping someone else. And she got hooked up with a book, and it just happened to be that it was her birthday. She got a free copy of the ebook. Says she's back on track thanks to the B-Day gift. Well, right on. You're not back on track thanks to that gift. You're back on track thanks to you tuning in to what you need to do, tuning in to what your body wants and what you really want to get out of your body. So keep going. Keep doing it. Volta Speeder, what's up, man? I'm doing well. Volta Speeder says, hey, man, how are you doing? Finally, someone asks how I am on YouTube. I'm good. How are you doing? Man, all right, never mind. Moving on. Okay, so reconciling intermittent fasting with eating breakfast in the morning, because we know eating breakfast in the morning, most important meal of the day for blood glucose control throughout the day, and from the feeding studies that have been done on meal timing, where they've equated protein, meaning protein was the same in both groups. Both groups were eating equal amounts of calories. People who ate earlier in the day lost more body fat than people who ate later in the day. Let me say that again. People who ate later in the day lost less body fat than people who ate early in the day. Breakfast is important. Circadian rhythms are of vital importance, meaning the exposure to light, the timing that we are exposed to certain stimulus is our circadian rhythm. We want it to be yoked to our natural environment, meaning you wake up in the morning, you get sunlight on your eyes, get that sunlight on your retina, get that vitamin D pumping through your blood and create vitamin D from sulfated cholesterol. When the sun hits you, releases nitric oxide, super beneficial, all kinds of benefits to UVA, UVB exposure. So getting out in the sunshine in the morning, getting outside, breathing some fresh air, stopping and just using your olfactory senses, using your sense of smell, reducing stress through breathing into the diaphragm, through the nose, and getting good breakfast in is super important. All these things very important for a good circadian rhythm so that you can fast long periods of time and get into that deep autophagy. All right. So if you want to do intermittent fasting, first of all, intermittent fasting is not going to get you in deep autophagy. A 16-hour fast, you're not getting to that deep of autophagy. All right. 16-hour fast, not much difference physiologically than the standard 12-hour fast that most of us do every night. So I'll say that. Longer term fasting, definitely loads of benefits, deep autophagy, whatnot. But 16-hour fast, ain't doing it. Your body adapts to it real quick. Not going to give you incredible benefits, but can help you control hunger. And if you time your meals right, it can be really good. So let's talk about reconciling intermittent fasting with breakfast, with having breakfast. All right, so intermittent fasting technically is just eating within 8 hours. Say you wake up 6 a.m. like I do. You eat breakfast about 7 o'clock, 7:30 like I usually do. So there you go, 7 o'clock breakfast. If you want to eat within an 8-hour window, and you have your last meal by 3 o'clock, there's your 8-hour window, intermittent fasting right there. You're still going to get that 16-hour fast from 3 o'clock till 7 or whatever, 7:30 or something the next day. Still going to get that 16-hour fast, and you're still eating within an 8-hour window. I can't tell you how many clients I've had come to me who've done intermittent fasting before, women who are just starving themselves all day and then ended up at the end of the day so stressed out, not able to control the amount of food that they were eating, and having elevated stress hormones throughout the day, sleeping like crap, not feeling that good. Then we simply switched in breakfast. Even if they haven't eaten breakfast for years, we say force it. Put that food in your belly in the morning, because if you're trying to lose body fat, you want to stop the hunger before it strikes. You don't want to wait till you're so hungry and then eat a bunch and gorge, right? That's the same old cycle of binge restrict. We don't want that. We don't want to influence that through introducing intermittent fasting. So in a lot of these individuals who had problems with intermittent fasting, who weren't getting the results, simply switching to breakfast and having, 2 or 3 meals a day, sometimes even within an 8-hour window, right? 7 o'clock till 3 o'clock, something like that, will work wonders for the circadian rhythm, for sleep, for reducing stress, and for getting them results. So I hope you guys understand that. You can still do intermittent fasting, but it's better to do it in the morning. Lisa M's asking about her email about a coaching consultation. Lisa, I'm sorry, I haven't been taking on clients the last couple of weeks because I've just been really busy and I didn't want to burn out, right? Like, I have to keep a balance of work and rest, right? Of energy exertion and relaxation. So I've been finding that balance, and I've been trying to make up for it to all you guys by doing more of these live events, because I can help out a lot of people and answer a lot of questions during these live events. Lisa, I'm going to check my emails and I'll see if I can get you in. But for those of you who've been hitting me up on the coaching inquiries, I'm sorry, but I've been dialing it back. It's just, it was too much time spent in the last month on a lot of different projects. So I needed to reel back, get my bearings, and make sure I don't burn out and give myself them burnout symptoms. All right. Das Winkley, great question, says, does sunlight through windows count? All right, so I'm always talking about diet is not the only thing that influences our health. In fact, for some people, of minimal importance if they have their ducks in a row in other ways, right? You're able to sleep well. If you're moving your body, if your stress is reduced, breathing through the diaphragm, through the nose, activating your senses, connecting to life, having purpose. Big one right there, having purpose. Why do you think the media is constantly trying to influence your epistemology, your views on what it means to be alive, why you're here, what you should be doing with your time? Consume, 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 be insecure, fight with your neighbors. Everyone's a Nazi now, right? Ridiculous. Having meaning in life, having purpose, super crucial. And also, your exposure to natural light throughout the day is very important for the circadian rhythm of our hormones, melatonin production, cortisol production, testosterone production, growth hormone production. All of these are entire hormonal systems, all the hormones in our body are dependent on a circadian rhythm that's yoked to the light in our environment. So getting out in the sunlight in the morning, very, very important. Taking off glasses if you wear the glasses, because UV light cannot penetrate through that glass. It's going to block the UVB light, the UVA as well. So you don't want to be looking in, you want to be sunbathing through glass. Get outside in the natural sunlight. Get it on your bare eyes, on your bare skin, to make that vitamin D out of sulfated cholesterol and the millions of other compounds that are probably being made that are not even studied, right? Vitamin D is just a proxy for measuring sunlight exposure. You don't get the same benefits from just supplementing vitamin D as you do from the sun. You get vasodilation, nitric oxide production, lots of things going on there. And it's not just about the UVB. UVA is important as well. And it's funny, you've been programmed to be afraid of the sun, right? We've been programmed, we're going to get skin cancer if you go out in the sun. Rub this aluminum all over your body. Aluminum that causes cancer. And all these toxic chemicals that are known carcinogens, rub those into your skin every day. Or you're going to get cancer. You're going to get that skin cancer from the sun, right? The source of biological life, the source of energy, of light. Be afraid of it, right? It's all about a perversion of the basic instincts of humanity and turning our instincts against us. So get out in the sun. not behind glass. Get out in the sun. Kick-Ass Keto, what's up? Kick-Ass Keto says, dude, you gave me one last time, meaning a book. It's already helping my friend a lot. That's rad. Kick-Ass Keto was here the other day. Kick-Ass Keto was asking about how can I help out a friend who's really unhealthy, has very unhealthy eating habits, binge restrict patterns, super skinny, needs to gain weight. How can I help out my friend, try to get them healthy? And I was so happy to hear about someone asking how they can help someone else, right? It's so nice of her. So Kick-Ass Keto got hooked up with the book too. Glad you're liking it. I hope you gave a copy to your friend. You said you did, already helping your friend a lot. And my advice the other day was, there's nothing you could say to make somebody change their diet. You have to lead by example, show them love, show them patience, show compassion. Bring them over to your house, sit down with them, make them food a few times a week, have good conversation. Break bread. Break the bread habit with them, and show them how you're living, right? Make an example of it. Don't blah, 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 blah. This is what you have to do because the douchebag on the internet told me so. No. Do what you do. Do what works for you. Share that light that's inside of you. Look that person in the eyes. Understand where they're coming from and really help them out by being a real friend and being present with them. Help someone out, sending someone a message. Oh, you do keto. Private message, Facebook. Like my pictures. No, none of that. Really talk to people. Really being in people's presence. That's what's up. This social media fake nonsense. Really talking to people is where it's at. Mutant Stoner says, yo, Tristan, got the cookbook. So hyped to start reading the first chapter. Got a sneak peek of some of the recipes, and they look amazing. Right on. For those of you who hear me rant and raving about the cookbook, it's my wife's cookbook, and she even gave me a writer's credit on it because I wrote some of the introductions and stuff, but she worked her butt off on this for over a year and a half. It's called the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. And that's available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. You're not going to find it on Amazon and other content creators out there, other people who are publishing, people who are publishing books, people who are selling products. I urge you, stop feeding the Amazon beast. Stop feeding it. People don't realize how quickly Amazon is destroying so many markets and consolidating it. These antitrust laws should have come into play a long time ago. Amazon is out of control. Look at them. What are they doing with Whole Foods? Why did Amazon buy Whole Foods? As they see the popularity of organic products rising. They suddenly buy Whole Foods, which was not doing very well at the time. Whole Foods was starting to get pruned back. People realize, first of all, Whole Foods, just shopping at Whole Foods doesn't make it healthy. They sell loads of junk food, loads of GMOs, even though they say we don't sell GMOs. It's full of GMOs. The food bar, full of corn syrup, soybean oil, all this stuff. I'm not saying Whole Foods was bad in general, but I've seen the result of Whole Foods coming into areas like where we used to live, Santa Cruz, and competing with these long-term mom-and-pop health food stores. All right, so don't buy at Whole Foods. If you got a Whole Foods in your area, figure out who competes with Whole Foods. Who's your local mom-and-pop health food store? You're going to get better prices there, better shopping experience, and you're not going to be feeding Jeff Bezos's beast, Amazon.com. Jeff Bezos also owns the Washington Post, a propaganda rag that's been around since the 70s. Was involved in operating Project Mockingbird, CIA infiltration into media, which is out in the open now, right? It's all openly owned. So anyways, Jeff Bezos and all this Amazon consolidation, it's got to stop. So those of you who are content creators who care about the future of humanity, who care about the future of your children, and who like to support local economies and not have everybody be locked into one publishing company, Amazon.com, publish your stuff, self-publish. Yes, Amazon makes it easy. They make it easy. And they have big penetration in all these markets, right? You get your little book on Kindle and stuff. But it comes at a cost, at a big cost. Dump Amazon. Ignore Amazon. Sell your stuff on your own website. Don't need to sell your books on Amazon. All right. So anyways, you can find our book exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. Support small businesses. Support local businesses. Get off the Amazon. There's other fulfillment stuff too. There's other fulfillment centers, rather, that do just as good a job as Amazon. But they're preying on our laziness. They prey on the convenience factor. And it's sneaky. the way they consolidate these markets. The whole print market, ebook market, is currently being consolidated by Amazon through simply self-publishing and selling through your own medium, not relying on Amazon. We can quell this. We can shift it in a better direction where it's going to shift eventually. People are going to catch on, hopefully, before this freaking smart city Agenda 21 nonsense gets too far. All right. I mean, come on. Is that the future you want? All your food being delivered by drones via Amazon.com? All shopping consolidated into one consolidation center? It's insane. All right. Let's see. Bo, what's up, man? Bo says, just got your recipe book and loving it. I started eating keto about 8.5 months ago. As of today, I'm down 81 pounds. 81 pounds. That's more than 10 pounds a month. And that's awesome. Bo Cantrell, congratulations, my friend. I'm glad you like the book too. Check out, have you delved into the organ meat section of the book, the odd bit section? One suggestion for those of you who've got the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, and this is what I ate this morning: beef heart meatballs. So you take Mama's Best Meatballs recipe, which is super simple recipe, really delicious, and we eat all the time. But what we found throughout the years of experimentation is that mixing in about 50% or even less of an organ meat, especially beef heart or liver, with your ground beef, and this is easily done through just asking your butcher to grind up heart and with your ground beef. Through using 50% heart, you can increase the nutrient density of the food using one of the most nutrient dense parts of the animal, the heart. Full of coenzyme Q10, full of all kinds of fat-soluble vitamins, vital minerals, and nutrients that you're not going to find in other parts of the animal. And if you want, you could even add a little bit of liver ground up in there, although liver will give it a little more strong taste. Un poco más fuerte. But still really, really good. And it's a way to get in organ meats and a way to get your kids to get those vital organ meats in without even really knowing it. In fact, what we do now is with our when we make the meatballs, Mama's Best Meatballs, the recipe, which is in the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, a training manual. Keyword there, training manual. It's available exclusively on our website, not on Amazon. It's exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. If you use the Mama's Best Meatball recipe and you put in heart up to like 50%, but what we've been doing is doing all beef heart in those meatballs. Oh, they're so good. The texture, the taste, they digest so well too. So delicious. All right, Marcella, what's up? Says, should we still eat breakfast if we are not hungry? Well, that depends on the context, Marcella. You know, I mean, skipping breakfast, or for some people, it might work. For some people, they can set their rhythm with that, and they can adapt to it. But if the goal is fat loss, when I work with clients, I almost always have them implement breakfast. Every once in a while, one of them tells me, man, this breakfast thing sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. And then we shift it. You know, because it's about what works for you in your situation. It's not about my dogma. It's not about some other person's dogma. It's about what really, really works. Woo! Wow.
I didn't know you were here.
You didn't know I was here. Look at that.
Garden
That's amazing.
fresh.
What do you have here? Tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes, strawberries,
Strawberries.
lots of mulberries,
Wow.
and mint. I want to make a mint extract.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And Ryder, what are you doing?
Oh, he did amazing. He's just walking all around. We hung out so much and going in the swing.
When the swing. Okay.
He's so good at staying in the paths. And there was at one point he thought I came up to the house, so he starts going up the hill.
Start walking. He's looking at himself. He sees his thing on there. What's up, dude? You got anything to say? Yeah. All right. Cool. Nice seeing you guys.
You too.
The lovely Jessica was just talking about the Ketogenic Edge cookbook and the meatballs she made this morning. And then she shows up to hear me praising her hard work. That's what's up. Fresh food from your garden. This is what we're being disconnected from in this new smart city grid that's being forced on us with 5G, this Agenda 21 nonsense. You know, just small subsistence farmers. Not that that's what we are. We just have a small garden, but the rural areas are being destroyed. Organic farming is in danger. You got to support your local agriculture. You got to support local food production. It's the only way that we can feed a growing population. I mean, even the UN had to admit that small-scale organic farming was the only way to feed the population. But at the same time, they're pushing Agenda 21, trying to herd everybody into small city control grids where there's no free transportation, no freedom of speech, no communication that's free, everything monitored for the greater good. For the greater good. And the smart cities. You want to come to our smart city, right? You're not a dummy. You want to come to the smart city. This is progress. Nonsense. You know what progress is? Thriving. You know what progress is? Connecting to nature. Truly. Really is. You don't connect to nature by freaking herding people into giant cities and blocking off all the usable land. Nonsense. All right. Briar Rose, what's up? Comma Fornication says, let's see. Kick-ass keto. You can't even buy fresh mulberries anywhere, and they grow everywhere. It's crazy. Well, the thing with fresh mulberries, though, I mean, you can get them at like farmers markets and stuff, but fresh mulberries, they turn quickly. They turn really quick. Kick-ass keto says, seriously, though, anyone who doesn't have the book, it's the best keto book I've read. That's so sweet. And so coming from someone whose name is Kick-ass keto, I assume you know what you're talking about. Success Fairy says, Amazon refuses to ship to South Africa anymore. That's good. Get away from Amazon. South Africa should refuse to use Amazon. All right. Stanislava, what's up? This is a question. I feel one day full, and the next day I can't stop eating. I like how I feel on keto. I eat simple meals mostly the same every day. Thank you. All right. So you're listening to your body. You're realizing that there's things that will influence your hunger beyond just what you ate. And that's normal. So if I, for instance, go for an intense run where I'm sprinting up hills and stuff like that and work out really intensely, the next day I'm going to be ravenously hungry. I'm going to be ravenously hungry. But if I'm more sedentary, a little more relaxed, then my hunger is lower. There's many things that can affect hunger, including meal timing, lack of or sufficient sleep. You know, lack of sleep one night of poor sleep can create disrupted blood glucose control throughout the day. You get pre-diabetic blood glucose numbers just from one night of poor sleep. Hello, little lady. Do you have something to say? Should people sleep? Okay. Very important that she said hello. So yeah, there's other things that are going to affect your hunger levels. You know, sometimes on those days when you're really not hungry, well, I don't know. I mean, it's you got to figure out what are the factors that are influencing your hunger. Is it sleep, circadian rhythm, your exposure to artificial light, stressors throughout the day? You find you're more stressed and then you get more hungry. Totally normal. Normal response of the body. So yeah, you got to figure out what it is that's actually triggering that. Because it goes beyond just eat this food, don't eat that food. Many other things that influence our hunger levels and our circadian rhythm. All right. What else? Gosia, what's up? Can I have dried yeast on a keto diet? On keto. Can I have dried yeast? What do you mean, like nutritional yeast? Lots of people like nutritional yeast. There's nothing wrong inherently with nutritional yeast. No. Success Fairy. All right, what's up, Success Fairy? Volta Speeder, what's up? Thank you for helping me realize I was actually on the right track and doing things great all along. You should listen to my intuition more, not some anxiety-giving gurus. All the best. Yeah, that's what's up. I'm not here to make you stressed about your diet. Oh, you're all doing it wrong. Although a lot of the time I am talking about common mistakes that people make. But it's not like I'm accusing you, oh, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it bad. You can't do this, you can't do that. It's all about the context. Sometimes the stress about your diet can create more harm than a poor diet. I see this all the time. People trying to do a healthy diet and they're just falling apart because they're neurotic as they're just going completely insane. It turns into an eating disorder. We do not want that. Briar Rose says nutritional yeast is the bomb. B vitamins, be sure to get non-fortified, he says. Nutritional yeast can be good. Benjamin Scally, what's up, man? Says, I struggle with vanity. Grew up with terrible acne, but have it under control now. I got scars, hyperpigmentation that I'm successfully treating with microneedling. Insight on reducing vanity. Look at this. Like, you want to see some scars, dude? See that? Look at that. My whole head is pockmarked. See those? My whole face, man. Like craters all over my head. I remember in like elementary school, those little demon kids like to pick on you, right? Like to pick each other apart, influenced by what influences them. Look at your head. Why do you have little scars all over your head? Ew. I don't know, man. I mean, you gotta learn to love it. I mean, what when you say vanity, what is that? Like, vanity is like a hyper focus on the external, on false appearances. That's what I see as vanity, right? Destruction of the poor is poverty. Destruction of the soul is vanity. That's from a song right there. Destruction of the soul is vanity. I mean, what's really important? Like, what are you? Are you your shell? Are you that body? I'm not this body. I'm not this pockmarked, scarred head and these crooked hips and this twisted spine that I've grown up with. That's not me. There's something far beyond that. I mean, more ephemeral. So yeah, I mean, vanity. I mean, real, like, how do you get through vanity? The connection to a higher power. Understanding that there's more to life than just like your appearances. Stopping watching the television, all this fake preening, and everybody's like, hey guys, YouTube's full of it too, right? Stop feeding that vanity thing. Stop feeding the parasite. We got to extract our energy from those parasites. And I really, I mean, things that take time to work on, right? These internal skills, these mental grooves that have been ingrained in our psyche. It can be hard to transcend it, hard to go beyond it. It could be painful to realize just how much we've submitted to illusions. But it's just the vanity. It's just a glass house, and it's going to break eventually. It's like, this body right now might be like real fit or whatever. But hey, 30 years from now, my ass is going to be sagging and wrinkling just like everyone else. 60 years from now, I'll be shitting and drooling myself just like everyone else, right? We all get humbled eventually. We all die eventually. There's the ultimate humbler right there is death. So I don't know. I mean, to me, it just all comes down to the connection to a higher power. We could try to do it ourselves and try that route. I don't know. And some people say it works for them. I tried for a long time. I wasn't able to get beyond a lot of the things that, that held me back, that chained me in, the illusions that I submitted to. So what is vanity? Vanity is an illusion. Vanity is an illusion that it matters what you look like, what your skin looks like. If you got these I got scars. Look at that. I got scars all over. People comment on it all the time too. Always looking for an opening. These parasites are always looking for an opening to lodge themselves in our psyche and feed on us, feed on our insecurity, feed on your energy. So stop giving the energy up to the vanity. You gotta say no when it pops up. Extricate ourselves energetically from those cycles. I hope that helps. I mean, it's nothing concrete, right? It just comes down to focus, intent, and connection to life. That's what I call a higher power, right? That's where life comes from. It doesn't come from the flesh. It doesn't, like, we live through it. We live through that vessel. Karina Nielsen says, hi, Tristan. Thoughts on adapting when someone has Hashimoto's? It seems difficult despite being under 20 grams of carbohydrate, moderate protein, adequate fat. I mean, they're all words, right? Moderate protein, adequate fat. I don't know how much fat that is. I don't know how much protein that is. As far as just adapting to a ketogenic diet with Hashimoto's, of course it's possible. There's no contraindication there. In fact, I've seen a lot of people benefit from a ketogenic diet with Hashimoto's, but also sometimes it can be an extra stressor to be pulling that glucose out. It can be stressful for the body. So stress reduction in general is going to be a huge part of your recovery, Karina. And thanks for the sweet comment on our family. We really appreciate that. They're really awesome, and we've been really blessed with this. Shoot, I don't know what I did to deserve such an amazing family. I definitely didn't do anything to deserve it. It's been given to me. So yeah, Karina, Hashimoto's, keto adaptation. No contraindication, but keeping stress low is going to be crucial. So if you're at a high stress period, if you're doing intermittent fasting, stuff like that, cut the intermittent fasting out. Make sure to get a decent sized breakfast. Get sufficient protein. 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass is enough protein. Fat is the energy source. So for you, you probably want to be about maintenance calories. So you calculate your protein, 20 grams and under net carbs. Then fat makes up the energy portion of the diet to keep you at around maintenance in the beginning. And then if you're trying to lose body fat, then you can cut back on the fats after adapting. But yeah, keep that stress low. I would also say that it might be important to eat foods that are high in iodine. A lot of people are iodine sufficient. Most of us, in fact, are iodine deficient, not sufficient. Most of us are iodine deficient. Fish and seafood come conveniently packaged with iodine and selenium, both of which are very important for thyroid function. So, of course, I'm not a doctor. You got to consult with your local doctor, member of the medical priesthood. The gods of the modern age will tell you what you can put in your body, what you're allowed to put in your body. And, you know, if you need anything prescribed, they can prescribe it for you. Prescribe some things to cover up the symptoms of what they already prescribed. So, you know, go to those if you want medical advice. Go to the medical priesthood, the gods of the modern age. Stanislava says, I can listen to you talking all day and have always something to say about so much. Well, don't toot my horn. All right, Tristan, what do you think about 5 to 7 day fast to kickstart ketosis? Would it accelerate the keto adaptation process? You know, that's a fascinating theory that an extended fast to kickstart a ketogenic diet could be beneficial. I have experienced myself and done myself an extended fast and then used keto afterwards. I was already keto adapted when I did that. I haven't seen any scientific data. Not that scientific data. It's easily manipulated, skewed, and whatnot, and it's all about interpretation of data. But I haven't really seen much data on fasting to get adapted to a ketogenic diet. The enzymes required to break down the fatty acids, the changes in gut microbiome that come along with keto adaptation might not be experienced through simply fasting, but fasting will definitely help get into deep ketosis and generate the mitochondria necessary to process ketones. That is definitely a likely scenario, that fasting will induce mitochondrial biogenesis, making of mitochondria, right? Which are the powerhouses of the cells that actually process energy and you have to use those mitochondria to burn fatty acids. You don't need to use mitochondria to use for glucose, right? So fasting can definitely kickstart the production of that mitochondria. And yeah, so I don't know, as far as adapting to the diet, like when you start keto after a 5 to 7 day fast, first of all, I'm not saying you should do these fasts for, you know, vanity purposes, for fat loss, anything. I think fasting should be taken very seriously, right? I mean, just like if somebody's going to go ingest some sort of plant medicine or something, you got all the hipsters now want to go to all the tech yuppies and stuff want to go drink ayahuasca. Like, ayahuasca is changing the world. I've shared my thoughts on it. I'm not bashing ayahuasca. I drank ayahuasca. Nothing wrong with it, but I forget how the heck did I get to that. I don't know how. Oh, I'm talking about fasting. Fasting can be just as powerful as one of these plant medicine experiences. Honestly, a 5 to 7 day fast can be just as transformative as a massive dose of LSD. Seriously, like a 5 to 7 day fast can be more beneficial for long-term growth as a human being, as a person, as a spiritual being. 5 to 7 day fast can be super powerful, but it can also be pretty dangerous if done wrong. just like these plant medicines that everyone's talking, magic mushrooms, stuff like that. Oh, you just take it's the magic thing. It's going to make you feel better instantly. It doesn't just work like that, right? So there can be difficulties with the fast. There can be things that you'll see about yourself, about your habits that you don't like. And that reveals to us. It reveals to us our habits when we stop feeding the flesh for a little bit. And we realize just how wrapped up our entire day is in feeding the body. And a lot of that energy is unnecessary. So when you do fast, you get opened up to a lot of different things. Your consciousness opens up to a lot of things that you've been blocking out because you've been putting the energy into something else. But yeah, I mean, as far as mitochondrial biogenesis, could be a good thing, but you're playing with fire there. So if you're going to do an extended fast, I'd say make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And the right reasons that I consider to be right? This is my opinion. I think the best reason to do fasting is not for health, although those are adjuncts. Those are side effects of it. But for growth as a person, for increasing your internal strength, for connecting to the truth you and around you, and for connecting to life, right? The source of life, what I call God. You get all weird about that word though, right? Can't say that because we're supposed to be gods now, right? We have technology. We're the best. All right. Susan Wilson says, I once did the lemon cleanse for 40 days. Changed my life. I wouldn't recommend it though. See, exactly. You did a 40-day fast. That's wild. Changed your life for sure, right? Is it for everybody? Oh, no. Donna Kempson says, Cricky, I was tuning into a really intensive program's keto guru who had me twisting and turning until I was borderline orthorexic. Very stressful. I'm back with you guys and almost instantly feel calm. So it's like we get addicted to this stress stuff, right? So I mean, there's people that market that their entire marketing program is all about stressing you out. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it bad. You're gonna hurt yourself. It's like, I don't know. I'm not so into that stuff. I'm about empowering you, right? That's what this diet is for. It's not for, turning our obsessive, compulsive, control freak, mentally, it's not supposed to be just an outlet for all the parasites in us to feed, right? The need to control, the need to feel superior to others. Oh, those inferior glucose burners. Or, oh, that person eats dairy. Is subhuman. It's like the diet's not for that. Not for making you puff up and feel better than people, like you're somehow superior to someone because of what you eat. It's nonsense. It's not for freaking out about, every little thing that I put in my body, gonna freak out about. Right? It's like we do the best we can. Yes, eat organic foods, eat high quality, nutritious food. I mean, just basic stuff that'll help everybody is eating high quality, locally grown, nutritious food, organic food, not industrial waste, slave feed, not the corn, wheat, soy, all that stuff. That's the slave feed. Destroys the gut microbiome, increases autism rates, because of all the pesticides being sprayed everywhere, literally destroying the genetic code of us and the children. Like, it's not, we don't want to eat that stuff, but make a whole life about worrying about all this. It's like we do what we can to empower ourselves, right? You understand what's going on in the world, what's happening out there. You say no to it. You call a spade a spade. You call out the evil for what it is, and you move forward and you spread that good. Right, so I'm not here to tell you all, you're doing it wrong. You're going to kill yourself. You got to measure your blood glucose after every time you step on a crack. That's not what it's about. You go crazy doing all this stuff. It's about focusing on what is working. What makes you feel good? What helps you thrive? What helps your body to function so that you can do what you want with your life and make it meaningful and have lasting effects in the world that'll ripple into eternity. Rohat Guler says, hi, Tristan. I've been on keto 7 weeks, lost 10 kilos, still anxious and not fully adapted. Any tips on the anxiety, or should I just be patient? the anxiety. I mean, you're acting like keto causes anxiety. I mean, there should be no anxiety being caused by the diet. And how do you know you're not adapted? All right, so tips on keto adaptation. Number 1, get sufficient protein. 0.8 grams per pound of your lean body mass is a good number that works for everyone across the board. Well within the ketogenic range is laid out in The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living, Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Performance by Jeff Volek and Stephen Finney. Well within that ketogenic range. Keep your carbs low enough. 20 grams net carb, 30 grams net carb, depending on the person. Lower better, perhaps. Make sure you're not eating a bunch of inflammatory foods that don't agree with you. Make sure there's not a bunch of hidden carbs in the foods that you're eating. And most importantly, because you mentioned anxiety, make sure you're getting the electrolytes in. That could just be the missing link right there. Sodium, magnesium, and potassium. Across the board, all people need about 1,000 milligrams. So a few teaspoons of salt throughout the day. If you just make sure if you eat 3 meals, try to get at least half a teaspoon or more of salt on each meal. That should help you get enough sodium. Bouillon, these are other ways to get sodium in, or just throwing some salt down the hatch. Sodium is the easiest electrolyte to hit. You could be low on sodium. Magnesium, super important. Magnesium is very good for anxiety. Most people are deficient in magnesium. 400 milligrams 2 times daily of magnesium glycinate should help. So, I mean, anxiety is not a side effect of keto. Anxiety is definitely a possible side effect of low electrolytes, which can be a side effect of keto done incorrectly. So just get salt in. Robert Underhill says, there you go. Dr. Finney talks extensively about this. There you go. Low salt equals low blood pressure equals raised adrenaline equals more catabolic, more anxiety, and not feeling that good throughout the day. Thank you for the comment, man. That's awesome. Robert Underhill says, Rohat, I had a lot of anxiety early on with ketosis, and for me, it was about sodium/salt. But remember, guys, the trifecta of electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, and potassium. So get those 3 in sufficient quantities, and you should be good, Rohat. Good luck, man. Frederick, what's up, dude? Mutant Stoner. Rohat, same here. Keto is not a cure-all and didn't solve all my problems, but keto definitely reduced my anxiety, stress, and improved my mental health, says Mutant Stoner. And there's the importance of what I was talking about earlier, right? It's not just about diet. Your diet is not going to our diet's not going to cure anxiety. Our diet's not going to cure crippling self-criticism. Our diet's not going to cure us looking in the mirror and always finding a flaw. Our diet's not going to cure looking in the mirror and always looking the same way, right? You look in the mirror, you like dilate your eyes the same way, you make the same face, you make the same little pose in the mirror, and you don't like what you see, you feel insecure, you feel this, you feel that. Diet won't fix that. We have to change the way we experience reality. We have to rearrange our internal landscape. Jacob's talked about meditation, but I mean, these are words, right? Meditation. What is meditation? Many different ways to meditate. I find that anchoring in the moment, becoming present in the moment, breathing through the nose, even, I mean, some people have really good results dealing with anxiety, just using like aromatherapy, just taking a few minutes, taking a bath, having some essential oils, and just using your sense of smell, breathing into the diaphragm, exhaling slowly. Look up the Buteyko method, Buteyko. Buteyko method. The Buteyko method of breathing was developed by the Russians. Oh, those evil Russians that the news is trying to. What happened to that? Are they still doing that? Are we still like, do we need to go to war with Russia still? Every few years, World War III gets held over everyone's head as they're dividing up people into the little cults to whip them up against each other so that we don't see the real problems, that we're all being poisoned in the same way by the same corporations, individuals, and governments, right? The weather modification programs have been going on worldwide for decades. Owning the weather by 2025. The Air Force paper on weather as a force multiplier. These are the real issues. Not the invisible fake Nazis and communists everywhere. These are the blocks that they whip up against each other every single time. They've been doing it since the 60s. Same narrative. Distraction. There's issues that affect all of us, like Monsanto and Bayer joining forces. Like, why are so many kids autistic now? All right, let's move on. Yeah, anxiety. Focusing on the moment, anchoring in the moment, being honest with ourselves, and just finding methods to calm the physiology down, breathe through the nose, and enjoy the moment. Very, very helpful. Look up the Buteyko method of breathing. Buteyko. Susan Wilson says North Korea is the new Russia. Yeah, they've been around for a while. They're saber rattling that now, right? Saber rattling North Korea. All the while, the patents have existed for decades. The patents have existed for modifying, creating, and stopping destructive weather. Weather modification has been perfected over the last few decades. It's a science. There are hundreds of companies cloud seeding to modify weather. All right. Moving on. Robert Underhill says, watch the news daily equals more anxiety. Exactly. If you're going to watch the news, you're going to be whipped up. Oh, the Nazis are everywhere. They're coming to get me. Who are Nazis? Anybody that thinks differently than me, of course. My neighbor probably disagrees with me, so I can't talk to him about anything. North Korea, right? We got to go bomb North Korea now. Liberate them. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. Right? So we got to step away from this nonsense. Stop letting them program us with trauma and fear through spectacle in the television. Because there's a new spectacle for every generation, right? We had a doozy in our generation, the 9/11 thing, 2001. That was a big one. Bought like how many years of war, destruction, robbing us of our civil liberties and our rights as human beings. It's the next distraction. The next fear spectacle, right? Stay away from that. All that fear spectacle be pumped out through the media, the news media, not going to help. Right? Like, we got to empower ourselves. That's disempowering propaganda. You read things that make you feel powerful. Read things that make you feel like you have a closer connection to reality, to the mysteries of life. Focus on that. Devereux says mindfulness practice helps with anxiety. Those are all words, right? We've all got to find our own ways to deal with the madness of this world. Because it's like, hey, anxiety, depression, stuff like that, those are signals. This is our bodies, our physiology, it's our mind, it's our spirit, it's our soul telling us that something is not right here and action needs to be taken. But if we don't take action, then we fester in that wound of anxiety, of depression, of fear. And the whole thing, the whole news media thing is all about inducing that state of freeze. You can fight, flight, and freeze. Freeze is the most important for controlling people. Those cognitive dissonance that people have. Remove your energy. Remove your eyes from that filth. Put your eyes on something real. Lock your eyes into someone else's gaze. And see what you feel, see what you see. Way more real than what's being pumped out through that TV. Right? They're building glass houses for us all so that they can break them and then rebuild another little fake glass house reality. But that's not good. That's not righteous. That's not reality. We've been given life. We've been given this mind. We've been given this body to use it. All right. Let's see. All right. What's going on here? Benjamin Scally says, keto helped me go from overanalyzing everything to compensate for a lack of good interfacing with reality, as you say, to who gives a shit about my anxiety triggers? Benjamin Scally, winning, right? Overanalyzing everything, paralysis by analysis, a million different fake data points pumped out at us all the time, right? Oh, global warming is going to kill you. But we can control the weather for the last 60 years. And we've got patents that are readily available. And people have been watching it happen. But it's not on TV, so it's not real, right? LINDS, Lynn says, since starting keto, I've had 2 grand mal seizures and 4 simple seizures, all during keto. I have an MRI tomorrow. Could it be my body adjusting? So you've got epilepsy, and since doing keto, you've been having seizures. Look, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on there. I'm sorry to hear that. Ketogenic diet was first named as a treatment for epilepsy. So hopefully you can figure it out. All right. DW says, hey, Tristan, my cousin was just diagnosed type 1 diabetes. I mentioned the ketogenic lifestyle and is interested to see if it can help his body heal. Any suggestions? Yes. All right. Let me make sure that that's the right book that I'm reading. Let me just make sure it's the correct book because I think I recommended this last time. Dr. Bernstein, Richard K. Bernstein. All right. I want you to look up Dr. Richard K. Bernstein and check out his book. What's his book called? The Diabetes Solution, maybe something like that. Dr. Bernstein's Diabetes Solution. Look into the information that Dr. Bernstein puts out specifically is tailored for type 1 diabetics. All right, Lynn says, other than the seizures, I feel better than I have in years. Your channel is so inspiring. Thank you for responding. Right on. Yeah, Lynn's, that's a shame that you're getting seizures. Yeah, I don't know. Figure it out. You got it, you know. Just clutch it. Hold on to life, right? That's what we have. We got life. Hold on to the fear, the seizures, this and that, right? That doesn't help. I'm really hoping that you pull through this and that it ends up helping you immensely because I've seen a lot of people benefit from a ketogenic diet for epilepsy. All right, let's see. Jacob, the vegan, coming in. All right, let's read this infantile statement. If you're talking about helping the world from corruption, don't you think a big part of it is animal cruelty and the consumption of animal products having terrible effects on humans? No, actually, that's not the problem in the world. But it's a great distraction for you to masturbate to for the rest of your life and pretend like you're doing something righteous. I don't give a shit what you eat, as long as it's not poisoning this world, right? Yes, livestock and stuff like that, mass-produced agriculture has detrimental effects on the soil because of all the grains and shit that they're feeding it. You require animal input for all of your food. There's not a single vegan population in the history of the planet ever. So as far as like the stupidest religious argument ever, veganism is up there at the top. And you know what? Talking about the corruption of the world. Why do you think the UN pushes a vegan diet? Why do you think the United States government and the European government have been trying to restrict meat consumption to the serfs and the plebes? Why do you think Plato recommended restricting meat for difficult populations? Because it makes them more subdued and easier to control if you give them grains. Why do you think vegans don't live as long as meat eaters? Actually, no. I'll take that one back. But why do you think the study that just came out that showed increased carbohydrate consumption is associated with all-cause mortality increasing across the board, whereas increased fats and cholesterol are associated with longevity? There's a reason why the UN is trying to restrict your access to meat, make it so expensive and impossible for you to eat. And it's not because they care about you and they want to make a nice, fluffy, happy world, where Monsanto grows all of our corn, wheat, and soy. And we live in these stupid little smart cities in a prison of our own illusions. Get out of here. Freaking vegan nonsense. Briar Rose. I love it when Tristan tells vegans to eat meat. I don't think vegans should eat meat. I think most of them who come on here should eat shit. Jacob says, wouldn't you say that the body does the healing, not the food? Exactly. The body heals, not the food. I've never said that the food is going to heal anybody. All right. Let's see what else. This is nonsense vegan propaganda. The vegan diet is an enslavement diet. It's an enslavement diet. Completely nutrient deficient, completely devoid of things that you need like cholesterol, vitamin A, vitamin B12. All right. Little big head. Yeah, no, just for the record, I was vegan, but I was never a part of the stupid vegan cult. I actually always realized that a vegan diet is a really good way to shrivel up the brains and bodies of most people, right? But there was a period when I was doing a mostly vegan diet as an experiment, and I enjoyed some of the tenets of the raw vegan diet that I enjoyed. And I'll take some of those experiences with me. And I'm not saying all vegans are bad. It's just the vegans who come on here and try and pull their nonsense can kick rocks and go smoke some rocks. That's vegan, right? Oreos are vegan. Go get some vegan Doritos. It's healthy. Vegan heals. Vegan Oreos. Christina says, I just found out that I can't metabolize iron from plant sources. I did try to go vegetarian several times, but also fell ill. Interesting. Jacob. Right on, Jacob. No, I get a lot of vegans coming on here with this nonsense. Oh, the vegan diet's going to feed the world. Vegan diet's the most destructive diet in the world. Why do you think governments who are completely in the pocket of Big Pharma and Monsanto push vegan diets on people? Because they're nutrient deficient, they dumb people down, they decrease brain size, they cause gut inflammation through all the wheat, corn, and soy and glyphosate that people are taking in, and it helps to further consolidate the entire food supply under the one corporate umbrella of Bayer Monsanto. Whew. Hashtag triggered, says Robert. Sometimes it's fun, guys. Just having a little fun here. All right, what else? Let's go back to near the beginning. Let's see if there's anything else. Richard Knight says, can you use chicken heart? In the recipe that I'm talking about for the beef heart meatballs, you could add some chicken heart, but I think beef heart goes better because you're going to be using part ground beef. And of course, that recipe is available in the Ketogenic Edge cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. There you go. Oh, Volta Speeder. I like this question. Volta Speeder says, yo, Tristan, should we count all protein, including vegetable sources like broccoli, spinach, flax seeds, etc., or just animal source protein? That's a really good question. I just count animal source protein. I don't count protein from like a bite of broccoli or anything like that. Most of these are not complete protein sources. They'll have some amino acids that could be counted on the nutrition facts as protein, but me personally, and when I work with like broccoli, I don't count those. Protein has eyes or a shell. Success says meat that hasn't been pumped with crap is good for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Grass-fed. I mean, look, wild-caught game, grass-fed meat, wild-caught seafood. These are the crux of the human diet. These are the easiest foods to digest, right? And his physiology. Uh-oh. My network is experiencing difficulties. Check your connectivity. If I cut out, guys, or if I start getting really poor signal, let me know. This might have to. Yep, streamus interruptus, says Robert. Am I back? Let me know if I'm back, guys. Fit like Frenchie. All these keto gurus are trying to say switch it up and not have eggs or meat daily. Don't eat eggs or meat daily. Don't eat it every day. It's bad. Why? What keto gurus? And what's the reasoning? All right. Jacob, what's up, dude? I don't eat any of what you're talking about. I stay away from GMOs and eat raw vegan. Eat raw vegan. Okay, great. Lots of fruit and veggies. So if it's so easy to digest meat, why does it stay in the gut for days? It doesn't stay in the gut for days. That's what the raw vegan idiots tell you. This is the dogma. Meat doesn't putrefy in the colon, brah. I did a raw vegan diet too, man. Some of the tenets of it, there's some good ideas. Fresh, local foods, right? Fantastic. Unprocessed, unrefined foods. You've got to step there. Enjoy the raw vegan diet. When you crash, hit me up, dude. Like, where are you getting vitamin B12 from? Where are you getting vitamin A? Where are you getting vitamin K2? You know, when you end up crashing like I did, then you're going to have to find something else to do. Show me some long-term raw vegans. I know a few of them, and even they don't recommend it long-term. The ones who will actually be honest with you. And Jacob. It's not a personal thing, too, Jacob. You seem like a nice dude. I like to get a little heated sometimes, though. You gotta get a little animated. You can't just sit here all bored and smile at everybody. That's not me. All right. Righty. All right. Finding Emily says, meat eater here. Just found out I have low hemoglobin. Was deferred for 6 months from donating blood. What are your favorite food recommendations to replenish my iron levels? Oh, you got to go vegan. You got to go vegan to replenish your iron levels. How are you going to get that iron from a vegan? All right. Replenishing iron levels, meats and seafoods. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to give medical advice. Fit Like Frenchie says, high intensity health are saying this as well as a few others. Some scientific I don't understand. Yeah, where's the show me the reason why you should avoid meat. I talked to Mike Mutzel. Nice guy, clever guy. I would love to hear the reasoning behind it. I'll go ahead and say right now, I completely disagree that you shouldn't eat meat every day. But whatever. I mean, people want to appeal to different things. People like get pet ideas and stuff, and they'll repeat them. And everyone's got to create their own little niche. It's all good. Jacob says B12 is gotten from the soil. No, you're not getting B12 from the soil. Even the animals have to get it from supplements. No. All right. No more of the vegan argument, dude. I've been even when I was a vegan, I didn't believe all this bullshit. Go do some real research. Go open a go open a textbook, go open a biology book. All right. No more of the vegan argument, though. It's all good. Volta Speeder says, I was vegan, too, for half a year. Never had worse brain fog, lack of energy, and was overall feeling like shit. My gut wasn't happy either. As soon as I started eating fish and eggs, it got 10 times better. I can't tell you how many recovering vegans I've worked with. It's absurd. What's your opinions on eggs? I eat 4 eggs almost every morning for breakfast. Organic, free-range eggs mixed with spinach and cheese cooked in olive oil. My opinion on eggs... Well, I mean, look, it's about context, right? Because some people can be sensitive to eggs. Now, those people want to avoid them. Myself, I am sensitive to a lack of eggs. If I don't get in enough eggs, I will compensate by eating copious amounts of eggs because they're so delicious. They're so good. Alex says, my grandfather butchered his own animals on his farm. He lived to 95 with all his teeth intact. Yeah, but he was an evil, degenerate meat eater, and he was destroying the planet. Because the UN said that we all need to be on a vegan diet so we can be good little world government slaves. Right? Nonsense. All right, so my opinion on eggs. Eggs are delicious. That's my opinion. I eat a lot of eggs right now. I've had eggs with almost every meal for the last 5 days, and I've been loving it. Great sources of biotin, great sources of selenium, vitamin A. Also, cholesterol, which is super important. You need cholesterol to make sulfated vitamin D. You need it for creating testosterone, for creating sex steroid hormones. It's a potent anti-inflammatory compound. It's an antioxidant. Cholesterol is muy importante. So I eat my eggs. I eat my cholesterol. And I abandoned the vegan nonsense years ago. And I will not suffer a vegan any more argument over it. If you're going to eat vegan, go for it, man. It's all good. Go talk to Darian Ryder about it. He'll give you some science. Or Vegan Canes, right? Go talk to that kid. All right. Let's see. All right. Christina says, oysters. Fantastic source of iron, right? Pair it with some vitamin C source. There you go. I used to have them every morning when I was recovering from anemia. Fantastic advice, Christina. All right, let's see what else. Susan Wilson says, why raw? Cooking releases more nutrients. Yeah, exactly. Now that's the thing. It's part of the dogma, right? It's like, okay, so fresh food's good, processed food's bad. Cooking at high temperature can release some toxins. Therefore, all cooking is bad, right? There's certain foods like tomatoes, leafy green vegetables, kale, spinach, stuff like that, way more digestible when they're cooked. Most foods more digestible when they're cooked. Why raw vegan diet? I don't know. It was a time. It was 2008. It was a long time ago. I was young. I was dumb. I was full of, you know what? And yeah, I mean, it's true. It felt better than a standard American diet, right? And there were certain things we learned, like food prep things, that are really cool. And it celebrated fresh, organic produce, and that's great. But like, no, I mean, I actually never even bought into the stuff of you got to eat it all raw. It was just something I tried, I like intense things. I like life. So I had to try it. All right. But yeah, I mean, it's like me and shoot, in our family, we eat murder every single day. We go to the market on Saturday to buy our meat, and we eat that murder each day. It's delicious. John Titor. Wait, John Titor? Where's John Titor? Isn't that the time traveler? John Titor. Wrong. Was that? What else is new? The nonsense behind all the marketing and stuff of bulletproof. It's nothing personal. It's just something that had to be said, right? So let me go ahead and back up and reiterate some of the points from that video today. Bulletproof coffee is a marketing term and it's a brand, right? Bulletproof is a brand. So anybody who's out there is talking about, oh, make my bulletproof coffee, make my bulletproof tea. Here's my bulletproof tea recipe. Here's my bulletproof coffee recipe on YouTube. You have to realize that you are giving free advertisement for a multi-million-dollar company and brand every time you do that. Let's see. I'm dropping. How's my video, guys? Am I good? I'm so upset with my internet service provider. It has not been coming through lately, and I pay a lot for this lame internet service. So anyways, bulletproof coffee. First of all, a lot of people are giving free advertisement for a company, and they don't even realize it. Second of all, adding fat to your coffee doesn't do anything special for the coffee or for your body. In fact, all the benefits that are attributed to bulletproof coffee are just the side effects of caffeine. More energy, lower hunger. You get that from black coffee just as well. And you can burn your own body fat if you're not putting exogenous fats down. Now, if you need to get fats in, sure, like adding some fat to a coffee or something like that can be fantastic. But, okay, John Titor, I'll go back. But if you don't need extra fats, if your goal is fat loss, you don't need to be adding a bunch of fats to your coffee. And adding fats to your coffee does not mean that you're fasting, right? You can't like eat a bunch of fat and say, oh, I'm fasting on fat. No, if you're fasting, you're not eating anything. So another thing too, there's nothing special about adding butter to coffee. In fact, it's a pain in the butt. You have to blend up this bulletproof coffee crap. You have to put it in a blender, blend it up with the coconut oil, the MCT, ZCT, XCT, the 5 times as much, the cost 5 times as much as regular coconut oil that they sell. You got to blend that up with the butter and stuff, and then it still separates after. Why don't you just use cream? People have been using cream in coffee for so long because it tastes good and it actually mixes in with the coffee. All right. So John Titor says, you cut out when answering about the fish. Can you give your thoughts on it again? Reiterate the question, please. What is the question about fish? What are you asking about there? All right. Let's see. Kavindiker says, I work the grave shift, sleep twice a day, a few hours in the morning, a couple hours before work. Because of this, I never know when I should be eating. Ooh, that's a hard one. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to take a look at your schedule, and it's just a little bit of tinkering and all you need to do, trial and error also. But during the hours when you are awake, and not during the hours when you want to be sleeping is when you want to eat. So if you're working night shift, you want to be eating at night, fasting throughout the day, sleeping throughout the day. Jacob asks if I eat once a day. I do eat once a day, and then after that I eat again, and sometimes I eat again. Sometimes I'll eat one meal a day, not that often. Sometimes I'll eat two. I usually have at least 2 meals a day. John Titor says, is fish safe with the radiation leaks from Fukushima? Is the air safe with the radiation leaks from Fukushima? Is the air safe with the stratospheric geoengineering aerosolized aluminum and barium being sprayed all over it? Is the water safe with the glyphosate contamination, the groundwater? I mean, there's so, like, we can nitpick any single contamination that's going on in the world and make a huge deal out of it. Small fish do not accumulate a lot of heavy metals. You can get fish that's tested. So like Wild Planet tests their sardines. You can look at their test results. You can contact companies and ask them if they've been testing for heavy metal toxicity, for cesium, for potassium iodide, or potassium, was it potassium 130? I forget. Iodine 131, something like that. I don't know. Is the fish safe from Fukushima? I eat fish. I still eat fish from the Pacific Ocean. I live in Ecuador, on the equator near the Pacific Ocean. The fish is delicious. I feel great when I eat it. There's a lot of fear-mongering out there about a lot of stuff. If you believe the fish is bad and you're eating it and you think it's so bad for you, what's the feedback loop there? You're programming it with all this fear and this intensity. So, yeah, I mean, I for one, not concerned. Eat loads of fish. It's packaged with selenium and iodine that help to remove these heavy metals from the body, like mercury and some of the other contamination stuff in the ocean. So, all right. Mutant Stoner says, invest in a Geiger counter. No, Geiger counter. Anybody could have taken a Geiger counter at any point in time, gone to the ocean, and get your readings. People don't even understand what they're measuring with Geiger counters. It's just like the blood ketone thing. It's like blood glucose. Someone gets a blood glucose glucometer, starts measuring at the wrong time, stuff like that. It really doesn't mean anything. I take my Geiger counter into the Whole Foods and check the seaweed. Look, this contamination from these things, it doesn't stay in the ocean. It's not just in the ocean. There's also an entire system of filtration through salt, through seawater, that is meant to remove these things. There's a huge biome that we don't fully understand. All right. Briar Rose says, I don't eat cute animals except for cows. Well, any animal can be cute if you look at it in the right way, right? Anything is beautiful if you look at it in the right way, under the right light, with the right spirit driving you. Anything can be beautiful. Can you guys hear me okay? You hear me and see me? Okay. John Titor confirms that he is the time traveler from Coast to Coast AM. What happened to that show, man? Art Bell, George Norrie, Freemason George Norrie. Hey, Ari. What are you eating? You want to come show them? Come show. I can smell it from here. Mandarina. A mandarin. That's cool. It smells really good. All right, guys. I should start wrapping this up. We've been talking for a long time. Talked about a lot of things. The one that comes back to me is the anxiety question. That's a big one, right? Anxiety. It can become addictive. Now, part of it is an addiction to the anxiety, always looking for something to justify the feeling that we're so used to already, the feeling of depression, the feeling of helplessness, that learned helplessness that media and education teaches us, all feeds into it, right? But really, like, self-responsibility and taking action is so crucial for these states, for breaking the illusion, for breaking the spell of anxiety and depression. Sometimes just action, right? Sometimes doing something that we're afraid of doing can be helpful. Yeah, I mean, just tapping into our physiology, realizing what triggers us, breathing through the nose, into the diaphragm, and enjoying life is important. Steve Fox, what's up? Steve Fox says, not listened to your videos in a while. Did you release that keto cookbook? Are you trolling? Because I always talk about the cookbook. Yeah, Jessica finally finished it, and it's been out for a little while now, man. Steve Fox, thanks for enjoying the videos. Steve Fox, the video is out. Or I'm sorry, the cookbook is out. Check out primaledgehealth.com. It's called the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. And it's not just a list of recipes. It's not just a list of all the recipes that people lift from other people and put it together in a book and boom, profit off keto. No. We started this book a long time ago with the intention of making a valuable resource to actually train people like us and the people that we work with. Basically made it as like a resource for our clients. And we call it a training manual because we don't want to just give you a list of recipes. We want to actually teach you how to formulate your own keto meals, how to mix and match ingredients, how to calculate and adjust for your own macros. And the book, every single recipe's got macros. They're all fat loss friendly. And it's available exclusively at primaledgehealth.com. Mr. Steve Fox, thank you for joining. Thank you for returning after such a long absence. Right on. Jordan Reed says, got your book printed and binded. Best thing I ever did. Right on. Ebook form, which we prefer too. Just print it out. Bind it up. You can print it at home and bind it. Super easy. All right. Robert Underhill says, what are you saying, Robert? Our entire U.S. society is geared around stirring up fear. Then companies sell us on solutions like pills or sugar or carbs. You got to get that herd immunity, right? You got to herd the masses. I mean, it's in certain ways, it's more gentle than it's been in the past, right? I mean, in the past, it's like at the edge of a sword, you're coerced. Now it's a little bit more covert, a little bit more merciful in certain ways. But yeah, it's all about pumping fear through that idiot box and whipping up populations against other populations so that nobody takes the time to step back and look at the real problems that we all face, like Bayer and Monsanto merging to form Voltron before our very eyes. Right? Walmart, Costco, Amazon. Weather modification. Patents have been around for decades. Got the biggest hurricane in the history of the world sitting there off the coast. Check out there was Edward Teller patents from like the 1950s. All right. Mama Life says, how many pages is your book? It's like 200 and... Jessica, how many pages is the cookbook? Ryder, hello. How many pages is the book? It's almost 300 pages. There's like 137 recipes. All the recipes fat loss friendly. There's an entire section on organ meats showing you how to use the most valued parts in nature of the animal. And yeah, so check it out. Volta Speeder says, Tristan, so even if you combine quality animal protein sources with vegetable sources, you don't think they add up to a total amount of protein? I mean, I don't know. Does broccoli contain a complete profile of amino acids? No. Does spinach is spinach a complete protein source? Is broccoli? I mean, beans aren't even a complete protein source, right? You have to combine beans with rice, and supposedly then and only then would it be a complete protein source. Steve Fox says, has it got the bone broth recipe? There actually is a recipe for bone broth, and we give you lots of variations, possible variations that you can do on it.
There's a bone broth, a chicken broth, a fish broth, and one of our favorite ways to drink bone broth. So our bone broth super elixir.
Ooh, that's cool. Check it out. I like Mama Life. That's a really cool name, right? Mama Life says, awesome. I'm getting it on payday. I'm insulin resistant and have a lot of problems losing weight. All right, Mama Life. Let's hook up Mama Life.
Let's do it.
Let's hook up Mama. I like your name. You're a mama.
Yeah.
Life. Two things that I love. Mamas, people having babies, raising conscious, healthy, powerful children. Boom. Woo!
That's just my boobs.
That was just a boob. But that's a baby. Mamas and life, right? All right, Mama Life, give me your email. Put your email in the little window here. Briar Rose says, I just got the cookbook Friday. It's awesome. Kavindiker says, just bought your book. Right on. Thank you, guys. But Mama Life is getting a free book. You're getting hooked up, Mama Life. You say you're waiting for payday. You're a mama. You're working hard. You want to get your life back. You're getting hooked up. Give me your email, and I will send you a copy of it right now before we end this.
I'll get you more.
No, I don't need more. I'm just entertained by it. Okay.
There you go.
Where is it, Mama Life? All right, I got it. Mama Life. You're good, Mama Life. Let's send the email right now.
Okay.
Digital products. I thought. All right. Subject. All right, Mama Life. The subject is have a great life. Subject, have a great life. I'm sending you a copy of the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine right now. Let's see. I got to find it. I got to find the link. Here's a download link. There you go. Mama Life. Got the hookup. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying. And thanks for intending to purchase the book. I'm glad you can actually save that money and put it towards your family now. But I really hope that you enjoy the content of the book, and just help make it I hope it helps you to form a foundation of good nutrient-dense food prep. We actually made this book with the help of our baby, Ariana, who's now 5.5 years old. But she actually helped taste and kid approve most of these recipes. So Mama Life, you can use these recipes for your kids. You can use them for you, and you can enjoy it. She says she's crying. You're crying. That's so sweet. Isn't that odd? Like, that's life, right? Like, when we're so happy, isn't it weird that when we're sad, we cry, and when we're happy, we cry? And how amazing is water? We don't even understand what water is. It's a completely anomalous substance. It's completely miraculous in every sense of the word, and we don't even fully understand it. Those tears that are coming from your eyes right now, Mama Life, those are some of the most precious, valuable, crystallized expressions of the divine that could ever exist, right? Like, I was looking at a tear on my kid's face the other day, and it's like, for that water to get there and come out of your eye, what a journey. And what is that water programmed with now? The tears of joy? Like, that's amazing. Distill those and sell it to the vegans. That was fantastic. Congratulations. It's like every once in a while it's good to cry, right? But the best way to cry is tears of joy, tears of gratitude, right? Mama Life says, my son has been amazing about trying the things I have made, and he's loving it. That's great that your baby's helped y'all. Yeah. No, it's all about family. That's what we're all about. The family unit, family, your community, your neighbors, right? This is what it's all about. The family is the antidote to a sick and diseased society. Family. The family unit. Very, very important. All right. Right on, Mama Life. You enjoy it. Have a good day. And let's see what else. Donna Kempson. What's up, Donna? Briar Rose says, congratulations, Mama Life. Finally being a mom is getting rewarded. How crazy is that, right? How mothers, women who want to be moms in their home, who want to be housewives, are looked down upon as if there's some sort of aberration, right? Like, oh, well, don't you want to go work and pay taxes and be a slave? Don't you want to just give your children over to the state to be raised by the state? After all, the news, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News say that children are public property now, right? That herd immunity, public property. No way. It's about the family. That's the nexus point where things spread. That's where you cultivate love. That's where you cultivate a sense of empowerment. That's where you cultivate a sense of comfort, of security before the Creator, right? The family unit. Mama Life. Enjoy that, Mama Life. Keep it up. All right, let's see what else. Anything else? Anything else? Lynn says, I feed my dog keto. Same recipes I eat. We share a meal often, minus the green tripe I give him. Not my thing. Fantastic. One more question from Azorbst111111. Says, what's your opinion on the planet paradox and lectins? I don't know what the planet paradox is, but lectins can be a major problem for a lot of people. Lectin avoidance is one of the things that kind of naturally comes with the ketogenic diet. You're avoiding a lot of sources of lectins, but sometimes people removing even more lectins can be greatly beneficial for healing the gut microbiome and for reducing inflammation, systemic inflammation throughout the body. As we all know, a ketogenic diet is really beneficial for reducing inflammation. Susan says, creator, really? Uh-huh. Yeah, really. You made all this? You're the ultimate in consciousness? You're the highest level of consciousness there is? Ooh. You better check that intellectual pride, Susan. The ground you stand on is not even solid. Christina says, I made that sausage egg roll in a bowl type recipe today. I'm going to have lots to myself because her family didn't want to eat it. Right on. All right, let's see what else. Christina says there's nothing wrong with believing in a creator. No, there only is something wrong with believing in a creator to a certain subset of the population who's embittered and angry at life and who doesn't have a solid connection to life. Like if you have a problem with me believing in a higher power and me admitting that that's where any power that I have comes from. Susan Wilson. Get out of here. All right. Let's see what else. Look, I mean, you guys can hate what you want, right? But you believe that the weather is not under your control. There's a higher power right there. Did you make gravity? Can you make anything? People, they believe in the Big Bang, but they think it's to believe in the creator. The Big Bang is your creator. What's up, Briar Rose? You got that, man. That's what's up. That's what's up, Briar Rose. Steve Fox, any tips on finding yourself? Feeling down, a little lost, like my mojo's gone. Any food choices to pick up the spirit? I mean, sometimes it's like removing behaviors, right? I mean, are there habits that inform that depression? Are there habits and thought loops and things that inform and that trigger that depression and that feeling of like being lost or down? So, I mean, as far as like feeling down or lost, maybe it's a good thing, man. Maybe when we're living in an illusion, if we're living a lie, we got to feel that pushback of like, oh, this isn't right. So it's like, what are we doing? What are you doing that's not in line with what you want to push out and ripple out into eternity? Right? What are the things you're doing that you know you can stop doing right now that'll make you feel better? Right? You smoking cigarettes, you drinking too much, smoking too much weed, being bitter, making fun of people because they believe things differently than you, like the individual who just got banned, or trying to shit talk on me, giving props to my creator, the creator of all this, because I didn't make this. I just get to experience it. I'm not the highest form of consciousness or power on this anything. Neither are you. So yeah, I mean, just really like extricating yourself from the habits that you know aren't adding to you being a better person, to improving your character. That's important. Hey, Ariana. All right, Finding Emily. Take it easy, Finding Emily. Have a good one. Yortha Van Dyke. What's up? You should be sleeping. If it's, what is it? 10 o'clock there in Belgium? Get some rest. Get to bed. You can watch this later. All right, let's see. I think that's it, guys. We talked about a lot of things today. This isn't a religious channel. I'm not a religious zealot or anything like that, but hey, I believe in a higher power. If you're gonna make fun of me for it, good luck. Good luck with that. So anyways, that's where all the power, that's where all the glory is. It's not in this body. I can do nothing. I can't even make a speck of dust. But I can make decisions that can help manifest and push forward into eternity, something that I want to cling to, that I want to be a part of forever. And that can live through every action that we do, right? Through your children, through their children, through everything that ripples out through eternity, right? Through touching other people, through trying to help with sincere heart. If you don't believe in a higher power, how do you know what's good or bad? Right? If there's nothing that like, I don't know, whatever. Anyways, Briar Rose knows what's up. All right, everybody. Briar Rose says, all healthy food is child friendly. My children are proof. That's right, man. All healthy food is child friendly. Unprocessed, unrefined, organic foods, that's what we feed our kids. That's what's up. Foods that nourish the microbiome of our bodies and nourish the microbiome of the earth. Foods that don't feed destructive corporations like Monsanto and Bayer, who have joined forces before our very eyes. Cesar says, greetings from New York. Are you still living in Ecuador? Yeah, I'm still living in Ecuador. Love it here. For now. It works for now. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you want more, you can check out primaledgehealth.com. And if you're interested in the cookbook that I've been ranting and raving about for so long now, my wife Jessica's cookbook, the Ketogenic Edge Cookbook, a training manual for low carbohydrate, ketogenic, and paleo cuisine. You're going to find that exclusively on our website, primaledgehealth.com. Mama Life, glad you got hooked up today. Glad you're enjoying the life that you've been given. Keep spreading it. And for the rest of you guys, get out in the real world. Talk to your neighbors. Talk to your family. Look people in the eyes. Be honest with yourself. I think that's it. I'm out of here, guys. You check out more, rather, at primaledgehealth.com. Guys, have a good one.